Have you ever wondered why it's so hard to change? Have you ever wondered why it's so easy to stay the same around the same people doing the same things over and over in the same job? Well, this reason is called entrainment. Entrainment is a force that works constantly inside us. It's a mechanism. It's running 24 hours a day. And it was discovered by a Dutch physicist in 1666 when he hung some clocks on a wall, and the pendulums would always entrain or swing together at the same rhythm or frequency. And we too have this internal rhythm that constantly is entraining to the energy around us. Energy is everywhere. Everything is vibrating and moving at a frequency around us. And we are entraining to match the rhythm or frequency of the dominant energy around us. So for example, when you're in loud or jarring traffic, do you realize how you feel very depleted, or you feel tired afterwards? Or when you're around a sunset or in nature, you feel really relaxed or restored. This is because you're trying to match your rhythm to the dominant energy around you. And you don't match that loud, horrible music sometimes that you don't feel you're around when you're in, bumper to bumper traffic and it's just depleting you, because what you're doing is your body is entraining to match that dominant energy, and it's depleting you. And when you're around a beautiful sunset, you don't really have to use any energy because you're already matching. Your natural rhythm is already matching that energetic frequency. So it's interesting to note though that this happens always. This happens in nature, like when two fireflies are on the same branch, they start to emit the same lighting, the same frequency of light. Or when women, we know that when we're around each other in close proximity, we start to menstruate together. So entrainment happens constantly and around us all the time. The thing that's important to note is entrainment happens with all kinds of things, visible or invisible. We start to entrain around the people around us. It beliefs, actions, routines, and thoughts, because it is easier to align with these beliefs and thoughts, because then we expend less energy. So this is another reason why people or systems of thoughts, systems of beliefs tend to hang together. They entrain together and they become dominant. They become the dominant way of being, thinking. And they sort of build momentum and they gather more force, and they gather more people around them because it becomes the dominant way of being, the dominant energetic force. So when someone of a lower frequency comes around these more dominant or more forceful ways of being, it is so easy to get sucked into that way. So you can see why it's easier to just stay and remain the status quo. It's not always easy to challenge a belief system. It's not always easy to challenge a way of being, an everyday way of life, because you're going against the very energetics that are the way of being and that have really become your way of life. So you really have to expend a lot of energy to become something different. But this is exactly what awareness does. It allows you to become something else. With even a small shift in awareness, you have the potential to start a new trajectory in your life. By knowing and being armed with these tools or this awareness, you can solve an old problem in a new way and go on your day with a new way of looking at things and embracing the world. So are you ready